my notifications off. There we go. That is specifically my wife's ringtone. Thanks for keeping me strongish. How's everybody doing? Oh, you saw that? I made those community guidelines and nobody's ever mentioned them, so I didn't even know how you see them. All right, this is my last bench day before competition. I only have to do 4 reps. I killed it with squats the other day. Bench is the one I'm concerned about, though, because that's where I'm having issues with the shoulders and the elbows, and everything hurts. So, this will tell me where my opener will be. So for squats, I'm going to be opening around 620 pounds, which is, I'll be breaking my own record with my opener, so that's pretty good. Really? I don't know if I like that. Well, it is kind of funny, though. I mean, it's mostly just joking around. Community moderation. Let's see here. Settings. You know what? We'll do an experiment. We'll see how the community guidelines. All right, we'll just run with it. We'll see. Because you know how people are, like, they don't want to mess around. Like, if something pops up, they don't want to, they'll just click through without even, I don't want to limit people from, but I guess if I'm not interesting enough that they can't answer 3 simple questions. All right. Is being a lesbian wrong? As opposed to, what's your body count? Well, I was in artillery, so it could be a lot. I didn't actually see the rounds impact. Oh, you had your ACL surgery today. How did it go? I mean, kind of hard to say. I mean, your leg's still there, so. Caught part of the streams this week, but it was about to doze off prior to night shift. What's up, Kayet? Rich guy, what's up? So yeah, I mean, you just had your surgery. They probably gave you a shot at Demerol and sent you home. when I had my knee surgery, it was at the, I don't remember if it's Naval Hospital or if it was on base at the Marine Corps Naval Hospital. But they just sent me home. They asked me what my pain level was, 1 to 10, and I said 10. I just got out of surgery. Like, I just answered his question. So he literally gave me a shot of Demerol, and my wife's making faces at me in the gate over there. They gave me a shot of Demerol, handed me crutches, and said, go. I was like, okay. So I guess I'm walking out of here. And then as soon as I got in the hallway, it just got longer and longer. They literally, the Marines, they literally made me walk out of the hospital in crutches. I'm hoping they don't still do that. My wife got her surgery done. She went to Desert Radiology, a place that does like the Las Vegas Raiders and the fire department and the police. And they made me go there early and to go into a room where they carted her out, and then they put her in a wheelchair and then made me drive the truck up, and they helped her get into it. And it was like they were like to the car. They had zero liability. There was no chance she was going to get hurt getting into the car. And then Marines are like, here's some crutches, get the fuck out of here. You're like, cool. You're walking on it already? Wow, that's impressive. How many kids do you have? Two that I know of. And they're both gone this weekend. I was out of town. I was in Utah, and I just got back. Why don't people like Eric Bugenhagen do powerlifting competitions? I don't know. I mean, Eric was a professional wrestler. I don't know. I mean, he does all the weird lifts. He does like 1,000-pound rack pulls and like split deadlifts and behind the back, and he Zercher. Do you have any pets? I have a lot of pets. I have way too many pets. 2 dogs, 4 cats, 3 turtles, bearded dragon, some other lizards that my kids have, 22 chickens. Am I missing anybody? You'll see the cats running out of the garage all the time. There's a little cat door there, and then they like to run outside under the garage. Where am I missing? If Brock Lesnar was natural, as he claimed, it's ridiculous he didn't compete in powerlifting. I don't know how strong Brock actually was. You know who's legitimately strong is, what's his name, the wrestler. Oh, okay. Wow, my brain just stopped working. The guy who was in Suicide Squad. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, Eric had competed before. Yeah, John Cena. John Cena's legitimately strong, especially for a guy that's over 40. His squats in the 600, his bench is, I want to say definitely over 400 pounds for sure. I want to say it's around 500. And his deadlift was up in the, up around 700 pounds. But he's a big boy though. I haven't seen him do Olympic lifting, but it wouldn't surprise me if he wasn't good at it. Give me a second, you guys. Oh man, where the hell did it go? Taking my drug. I take this little pre-workout. It's got like, I was making my own shakes, but this has like everything that I normally use, and it's in one thing. So I'm like, yeah, I'll try that out. I'm gonna get a refill of coffee real quick. I'll be right back. All right, all right. We have one more training day after today, and then I take an entire week off of lifting. Well, so far no pain. Body beat down in the house. Squats 405 times 4. Nice. Yeah, I do. See, I do the opposite. I go for reps that I shouldn't go for. But you know what? There's nothing. I don't know. I always say leave reps in the tank. Because it takes us so much longer to recover. So, no, my kids are 10 and 13. I'm ashamed to say it. I don't have to actually squat under a barbell because I don't have a squat rack. I built a squat rack. So what I did is I took 2 5-gallon buckets and 2 2x4s, 3 2x4s. I'm sorry. I sandwiched them together. 1, 2, 3. And then I cut, like I got my squat height, and I cut like a J-hook. I cut one at this height, and then one with a recess, and then one at this height. And then I concreted them in. So the buckets weighed about 50 pounds each. And I set that up, and that was my squat rack. I could set the weight on it. Not the safest thing in the world, but it worked. It was $50 of material from Home Depot. Take any high school level athlete with good genetics and they will perform well with barbells. Yeah, for sure, David. I mean, I don't know. I think if you have the body mechanics to do barbell lifting, it is an easy, efficient way to create a well-balanced and strong physique with using just a handful of lifts. You can get your workout done in 30 minutes. But it's not for everybody. I mean, my wife, uh, she does circuit training. So when she goes to the gym, she'll literally set up 5 machines for like legs, and she'll run through all of them. And, you know, one of them would be the equivalent to doing hip glute thrusts. One of them would be the equivalent to doing kickbacks or hamstring curls. One of them is doing leg curls. One of them is the leg press. So she does all 5 of those machines, and you can say that, is that better than doing a couple sets of squats, which pretty much covers all of them? But she doesn't enjoy barbell lifting. So who am I to say, you know, I think it works. She enjoys her way of training, and I did her circuit training with her one day, and I'll tell you what, man, it blew me out the next day. Oh, the hack squat machine. The plan for the week off is to do physical therapy, lifting, stretching, let my body heal, maybe do a little Muay Thai training. Probably go to the gym and actually do like some of the technique days. I'll probably skip sparring. I'm not going to do anything that could potentially hurt me. Why the clips on the inside of the plates? Good observation, Toy. I'll tell you exactly why. So, my rack being this wide, what can happen is when I have really heavy weight on the squats, when I go to walk out, sometimes the plates will clip the rack. And when you have 600 pounds on your back, that can be super hazardous. So putting those clips on the end of the barbell just basically expands it a little bit. And it gives me that extra 2 inches of clearance on each side. So that I just kept hitting the rack, and it was pissing me off. And I was thinking, do I buy a new rack? Do I get longer barbells? Like, what do I do? A little light bulb went off. I'm like, no, just go this way. It does shorten the collars, obviously, so it does limit what you can put on it, but most people aren't squatting 1,000 pounds. It would be an issue if I had all bumper plates. That would be a problem. Give me just a second. All right. You're looking like a bull, a well-fed one. Pietre? Let's call you Peter. Pete, we'll call you Pete. When's the last time you had a PR? 2 days ago when I hit squats? I did 600 for 5 reps. I've never done that before. Now, if you're talking about a max 1 rep max PR, it's been months. When I train, I don't max out. I'll do like max doubles, max triples, and that's for safety reasons. You just don't need to. Like, so, for example, the other was it about a month ago? I had 710 pounds on the trap bar, and I did it for a double. Now I thought, okay, I could probably put 730 on there and grind out a single, but which one's better for hypertrophy, and what's safer? It's safer to do 90% for reps than it is to do a 1 rep max, and you can approximate your 1 rep max based off of those. So why do you need to max out? Now, I max out, like maxing out's fun, but it's also dangerous. That's where it becomes, once you start getting into that, if you're truly maxing out, you're in that 100%, effort. That's where accidents happen. So, for safety reasons, it's better to back off a little and just rep it out. And you get stronger faster. Thanks, Raj. I hope you win the competition, Richard. Me too. I'm actually anticipating being the strongest lifter there out of all of them, regardless of weight class. But you never know who's going to show up. We had 1 year, like Brandon Allen would be a good example. He has, he hasn't competed in a couple of years, but he was deadlifting and squatting over 800 pounds. You'll be squatting 4 plates within a year or two. Who are you? 4 plates? I can do like 8. I can do 7, I think. Oh, Ian, you're talking to Ian. I hit a PR today. 1 rep max, 300 pounds. Oh, nice. Okay, okay. Cool. Awesome. So, would you say that strength training has improved your bodybuilding, Ian? Or have you not seen that correlation? Yeah, L doggy dog, maxing out's dangerous. It just is. I mean, is it that dangerous? I don't think so. Like, I mean, sometimes I get a hair in my butt and just I'll go to see what I can hit. But I usually still leave a little bit in the tank. You know, I get to that 95%, that RPE 8 or 9, and like that's usually as heavy as I'll go. And sometimes that is a PR. Ian, I'm doing okay. What's up, Christo? My hands are shaking before a PR attempt. The mental aspect is the hardest. Yeah, so I've gotten really good at turning on adrenaline. Like I can just, you know, a lot of guys, they'll hit ammonia because that kind of kicks in the fight or flight response. For me, I can just get in the mode. I don't have to get angry or anything. Eddie Shreds, thank you. I used to conjugate and fuck my left shoulder up. JT. Yeah, yes, sir. That's exactly it. You know, you're 100% right. If you recall, I was trying to be a jackass. I wanted to prove to the internet that this guy was always benching with a black Slingshot, which is the Mad Dog. It's the heavy duty one, and I wanted to prove to everybody how much weight it adds to your bench. So I was benching, I think, like 425 at the time. With the Slingshot on, I got 475 with nothing. It was easy. As a matter of fact, my opening video that I do on when I do my long form videos shows me with the Slingshot hitting 475. So logically, I was like, well, 475 is easy. Let's go up to 5 plates. Couldn't quite get it. First attempt, I got it to about here, and then I had to put it on the pins. And so I went for it twice. Second one got a little bit farther, so grinding it. Oh man! But then I was starting to feel a little bit of pain, but nothing that I would think would, you know, it didn't seem to be that big a deal. My dumbass, I decided, like, I was determined to prove. I wanted to prove this motherfucker. I wanted to show everybody how, you know, I wanted to call him out essentially. So I did a third attempt like a moron. 3 attempts, 5 plate bench with a Slingshot. And right after that is when I blew my shoulder out. It just went to pieces while I was getting ready for competition. And that's stupid. That was really retarded ego lifting just to prove a point on YouTube. It was the dumbest thing ever. And after that, I decided that like I was no longer going to do that stupid shit. Let's see. Well. So XXX says, be honest. Rep depends on your genetics. Well, see, you're being kind of like, it's the way you're phrasing your questions is why I'm ignoring you. You know what I mean? Which somebody already blocked I was going to read them. Hey guys, if I'm reading somebody's comments, don't delete them, please, okay? So you opened up with be honest, and then you were okay ignoring me. All right, you're natty, not built. One, I never said I ever claimed to be natural, so you obviously have never been on my channel before. 2, I don't owe you anything, right? I don't owe you an explanation. I don't really care if you like it or not. What I do is not about you. And then your third comment was definitely on TRT. Now, I don't know if you're trying to be a dick, but what you could do is ask me. You could say, "Hey, are you on steroids?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, absolutely." But the way you asked me was kind of sanctimonious, and it implies that there's a moral issue, and I don't agree with that, and that's why I was ignoring you. Okay? Cool. I don't owe you anything. You are nobody to me. I've never met you. Get out of here, you gooner. Appropriate response. Yeah. No, I've never claimed to be natural, nor would I. And that's why, you people come on they come on a channel and they say stupid shit. It's like, no, you're funny. And he did say something racist? I didn't see that. That's JT says that's why I quit using the slingshot. It got too hit or miss when maxing out for me. It's the one that, okay, to play devil's advocate, what did the slingshot do for me if you're going to use it as a training tool? As my slingshot bench went up, my platform bench went up with it, because the one thing that the slingshot does that chains or bands don't provide is your full range of motion. So you're going through the entire range of motion. The strength curve kind of wanes out as you come about 4 inches off the chest. You're back into a normal press. So it gives you that nice boost, but then it releases the weight, and then you're going all the way the rest of the way. That's kind of cool. Or I didn't mean chains and bands. I meant block training. Normally when I overload, I'll use blocks or boards. Boards shorten the range of motion. You can overload the weight, and it'll take you to that range of motion, and you press. By using the slingshot, you get the full range, and it does essentially the same thing. So that's cool. So I would advocate the responsible use of a slingshot, especially for guys that have shoulder issues. The problem is, most of us ego lifters, we put the slingshot on and we want to see how much we can do with it, right? You get a Ferrari, you want to, I'm not driving 35 miles an hour to the grocery store. I'm going to pound on the gas and see what I can do. That's stupid, and that's how we hurt ourselves. I'm on for David, and just so you know, I'm on a compound called boldenone, or dihydroboldenone, DHB. My best lifting grunt. Thanks, Tyler. Do you have a program that you recommend? Well, it depends. If you're a beginner, I always tell people to start with like something simple, like the starting strength 5x5, or like Wendler 531, something that's got linear progression, real simple. My program is a Frankenstein. It uses periodization, so I have different training blocks during different parts of the year. So people ask me like, "Hey, what do you do Monday, Wednesday, Friday?" And I'm like, "Well, that depends. It depends where I'm at. Did I just get done competing? Am I doing hypertrophy? Am I getting ready to compete?" It's three different training blocks, and they're totally dissimilar from each other. Yeah, it does. You're right. So interesting thing you said there, Ego Lift. You don't use a slingshot because it changes the grooves and it hurts your shoulders. The slingshot was, what's his name? Who's the guy that invented it? Why can't I think of his name? He's a equipped lifter. So when he was bench pressing, he was using a multi-ply shirt, kind of like Scott Mendelson, and he was one of the elite bench pressers. He was bench pressing well over 800 pounds with a multi-ply shirt on. So it makes perfect sense to have the slingshot as a training tool for that equipped lifting sport. It doesn't make a lot of sense for raw lifters. One of the things that hurt the sport of powerlifting when raw lifting became popularized, we'll say in like the early 2000s, is when I saw a big spike in the sport and raw lifting was taking over equipped lifting. Is a lot of us look to past lifters for training, and guys like the Ohio Westside Barbell Club, A lot of those guys, those were all power lifters. So we're going to do what they do. Elite FTS. Those were all equipped lifters. They were all wearing bench shirts, squat suits, and they were using wraps. Well, it's totally different when you're raw. So you don't want to train like those guys. You don't want to use boards. You want to do a deficit. If anything, you want to use a camber bar and extend your range of motion instead of doing block presses, because block presses help what? Where the shirt gives up its tension, now you're pressing. So you got these bench shirts that add 200 to 400 pounds to your bench, but it's all right here. And it's like a loaded spring. And then when you get up to here, it starts releasing its tension, and now you're doing the rest of the bench press. So it makes perfect sense to load up as much as you can and block press. Slingshot, same thing. Now, raw lifters, we need to cultivate strength down here. So if anything, we need to be extending the range of motion. Let's see, Flaming 99, what's up? Yeah, and that's all lessons that I learned the hard way, because when I first started powerlifting, I did what powerlifters did. I did what, all those guys were doing, and I was wondering why I was having subpar results. And then when things started really working for me is when I started training like Olympic lifters, Zach Tellender, those guys. I started training the way they were training, and my numbers exploded. And it didn't make sense because it went against what these guys were doing. I kind of got away from overload training for that reason. I still do it for fun though. Do you think it's something that gets you real mad before you do a set like the Water Boy? No, I have a hard time getting angry, but I will tell you, a couple times I did get angry in the gym, and I was able to hit a PR. One time I was at the gym, and that little rope thing you do triceps with. I walked up to it, and this guy jumps off of the leg press machine and runs over to me and goes, "I'm using that." And he caught me so off guard, I didn't say anything to him. I just walked away. And then the whole time I'm thinking, why did you let him talk to you like that? Like, who's this motherfucker? And I'm really mad. And I'm more mad at myself for not standing up for myself. I don't know why I didn't. I just, for whatever reason, well, I was mad, and I put 3 plates on at the time I was benching like 250 pounds, but I was doing decline benching that day, and I was messing around with that thing. So I put 3 plates on there, and I hit it like it was nothing. And I was like, man, I need to get pissed off more often. Rice and oatmeal. That sounds disgusting. It's probably good for you, though. Bacon. Yeah, that's what they're talking about. I do about 3 to 1 carbs to protein. Avocado toast. My wife likes them with bean sprouts. Dude, my idea of a meal, like a quick meal, is to fry up a half a pound of hamburger and dump it on a bowl of white rice. Soy sauce. I watch a lot of Trend Twins to the point where hearing animal the animal I'd become gets me in this mental state to hit PRs. Those guys are alright. I like them. Better than hitting them like it was nothing. Right? 900 grams of chicken, 500 grams of rice. See, I'm more I think I'm the other way around. Yes, you're on sourdough. So Christina, my wife, says avocado toast, sourdough bread, avocado with bean sprouts. Do you have to hold your pinky out when you eat the toast? So I'm getting rice and hamburger a lot. So that's what I'll be trying things. Yeah. No, I mean seriously. Like I'll do same thing with chicken breasts or fish or whatever. Pick a protein. Fry it up, a little seasoning on it, chuck it on some rice, bam, dinner. I also do we do a lot of soups, like ramen, udon, egg drop, wonton. I'm doing a blender cup of Greek yogurt, frozen berries, raw honey, water for both protein and something sweet. Yeah, that sounds a lot like the shakes my wife makes. She does a lot of plant protein, which I think is fine. I think the only issue with plant protein is it's got an incomplete amino acid profile, and as long as you're supplementing that, your body pretty much will make everything it needs, with the exception of a couple of key things. No, I don't meal prep at all. I do intermittent fasting, and I'm pretty good at counting my calories, but I'm not that autistic. You know what I mean? And not saying there's anything wrong with meal prepping. It's not. I tell people I've been in the same weight class for 10 years. You know, like I've gotten to the point where I just know my body, if that makes sense. If I was trying to like blow up to the next weight class, I would probably start doing meal prepping to make sure that I'm not putting on an excessive amount of body fat with, you know, with the, yeah, pretty much. When I'm bulking, I want to make sure that it's a slight caloric surplus so that I'm not chunking up. Ate about 1,100 grams of beef almost every day. Damn, are you on a carnivore? I mean, that's got to be at a certain point bad for your kidneys, I would think. I've been eating a lot of shrimp lately. Shrimp is awesome. I found out though that if I have more than like a half a pound, I'll start breaking out in hives. So I don't think I'm allergic to shellfish, but it's got something in there where I have to limit the amount I eat. It has some sort of a, I could probably, like, some sort of a histamine response, I would imagine. Matthew Miller, what's up? Longest you ever did a Stairmaster session? 0 minutes. But I will tell you what we did do as a challenge when I was at work. We would do stupid shit like Nina, one of my coworkers, challenged me to climb all 68 stories of this building we were putting together, and we did. We walked all up and all down, and by the time I got to the top of that sucker, I was dying. I can't do treadmills. I can't do Stairmasters. I can't do ellipticals. I am bored out of my mind. I'll sit there and think like an hour went by, and it's literally not even been 10 minutes. The competition's March 15th, but at the same token, I'll actually get on a real bicycle and go ride a bike. You know what I mean? And stair machines are really good too. We just bought my wife one, and it's a nice little machine. I mean, they're very useful, especially if you can get the full range of motion out of them. My wrist hurts. Need deadlift tips. Well, I would need to know. I'd have to have some context, like what's the issue you're having with your deadlift. Maggie, Semper Fi, hell yeah. Don't forget leg day, says Tyler. I would agree with you. I'd rather walk outside. Treadmills are boring. Yeah, and you can just take the dog and go around the block a few times. Let's see, Daniel. Tend will cure elbow tendonitis. Ligatend. What's that? More weight should sort the wrist out. You know, it's weird, man. When I'm getting ready for competition, like this is literally my last bench session, and I'm done for a week. I get the weirdest pains, like just things that have never hurt me before ever will just start hurting out of nowhere. All the way up. Do you have a real job? Well, what do you consider to be a real job, Georgie? Yeah, I'm the president. And defensive treadmills are good for you to increase the grade stimulus. Oh, you don't have to defend treadmills, Kaya. Just because I don't like them doesn't mean they're not good. One thing I do like to use a treadmill for is I'll put it on the highest incline and I'll walk backwards with a little kettlebell, and that really, really hits your tibialis. That's a good way to train that. Yeah, treadmills are awesome. They're fucking great. Like just because I hate them doesn't mean they're not good. Well, define real job. We're going to see a 1,700 record in 2 weeks. It's possible. It's possible. The thing, Prophet, is like I'm really gonna go for it on my third attempts, and sometimes that bites you in the ass because, like, if you play it safe, let's say you go for lifts you know you can get, even if they're records, like for example, I hit 385 in competition on a bench press, and instead of going for 390 or 395, which I would have gotten, I went for 400. I wanted to get that over 400 bench on record. I think I went for 411. And I didn't get it. I got it a little off the chest, and I got stuck. If I would have played it safe and did 395, I would have padded my numbers. And if I would have done all 3 attempts like that, I would have had closer to a 1,700 pound total. But because I went for it, I bombed a couple lifts. My total was lower, 16 something. So that's why I always say your total in competition doesn't always tell the story, because you could have on any given day maybe gotten one of those lifts that you attempted on your third attempt. Maybe you would have gotten it, maybe you wouldn't have. Third attempts are for going for it. And you know, my gym total is always higher than my competition total, but if I do get them, I'll have an amazing total. If I get all 3 lifts that I'm projected to get, I'll be like 1730 or 40, something around there. But if I don't get them, I'll be 1650 again. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? It's embarrassing almost, but it's like, what are we there for, you know? Are you on steroid? Real question. ZH2, yes, I am. However, I am not going to recommend you starting testosterone. I will recommend you going to a doctor and getting your blood work done for sure. Do you got any tips on how to stop tendonitis when low bar squatting? Where's your tendonitis happening? That is XX Wolf. I became an American 9 hours ago. Outstanding. Most of my cardio is brisk walking, trying to cut down time on getting from here to there. Most of my cardio is, yeah, we won't go there. Truth and humbleness. Thank you, Maggie. You ever held hands with a man? Yeah. Cool at Ripper. Let's see. Yes. Guess you have Georgie. How much do you weigh? 220. Actually, let's we'll take the belt off because this is obviously like 10 pounds. Where's my scale? What do I do with it? I gotta start keeping an eye on the weight because if I do have to do a water cut. Oh, that's not bad. So it says 224.6. I gotta put it on a hard surface because if I set it on this cushion matting, it doesn't read right. So that trip, I just got back from Utah, so I must have lost a little weight on the road trip, which that's actually explains why I'm feeling weak today. I went to Utah on Wednesday night, did a meeting, 8-hour meeting at the main office, and then drove back and got back in this morning. So I figured if I slept and relaxed, I could train tonight. Yeah, dude, ZH2, I'd be kind of offended if someone called me natural. You look natural. Go screw yourself. That being said, I'm not on a ton of stuff either. You know, I usually don't try to defend myself. Like if someone comes on and says, you take steroids, and I was like, yeah, I take all of them. What steroids do you take? All of them. Went down to Mexico and just asked for one of each in the pharmacy, and then put it in a turkey syringe and just jammed it up my ass. Like that's my morning. And it's way easier than trying to explain to somebody that already has their mind made up that I'm only taking like right now I'm taking like 300 a week a test and 200 DHB for competition prep. Dolores Umbridge, do you like femboys? I don't dislike anybody. We are all nuts, yes. Well, definitely the comment section is unglued today. Have you ever done gay stuff? If you've been in the Marines and you've been on deployment, you've done gay stuff. But as they say in the Marine Corps, it's only gay if your dick's touch. I feel like crazy genetics and work ethic could get you genetics, physics, natural. Yeah, so I mean, like, I would, genetically speaking, if I didn't train at all, like if I didn't work out, I'm a pretty stocky guy. If you guys want to see what I look like natural, I always tell people that first year I was doing videos on YouTube, I was natural. So you can literally go look. And I was like, what, how many years ago? Was it about 5-6 years ago? Was I 46? It was right before I went on test. And I was the same body weight. And I think I had a pretty decent physique as a natural lifter. And I was still lifting in the 1500s or either high 1400s or low 1500s. That's the total I had at that time. So, I don't know. Turkey baster's the way to go. Let's see. I heard the creepiest shit ever outside my window. Uh-oh. Pull out the ruler. Is this your last workout session before competition, Rudy? No, I got one more. I gotta do deadlifts on Sunday. I'm done squatting though. Squatting's done. You know what? I kept forgetting. I'm setting a little timer here. All right. 3. I'll be right back. I'm supposed to hit 355 for however many I can today. Man, the wind is picking up, that's for sure. Cat was yelling outside and nothing there. Yeah, we do. We literally got chicks inside the house. It's a whole target. Cat was yelling outside. Oh, you have chickens inside your house. Did you know we found out that that's technically illegal? I did not. I was not aware of this, but it is technically illegal to have chickens in your house, which we do all the time. They just come in and out. I don't think it's the same with baby chickens when you're raising them, when you're hatching them and raising them. I think that's legal because they're usually contained and they have like heat lamps and stuff like that. Incubating, yeah, thank you. But there's a Nevada law against them, or apparently there's a Nevada law against having grown chickens in your house, which I think is stupid. So when you're doing hand wraps for bench pressing, if anyone cares, we're going to one high, we're going to go across the wrist, we're going to go one low, and then we're going to go one in the middle. And that's going to, it should be so tight that your hands kind of curl up a little. And then for competition, you're not allowed to have thumb loops on. I don't know why. These are the shortest ones you can use. A lot of guys use a lot longer. Which, the other rule is that the loop can't touch the barbell either, which I found out. There's some really pedantic rules. And the way I look at it is every single rule that they have was in response to somebody trying to cheat. So I don't know why thumb loops aren't allowed to touch the barbell, but it had something to do with, I don't know why that rule. Tojo Hideki. What things do you find funny or comical? Well, we're all a bunch of like sarcastic smartasses on this channel. I laugh at everything. I find life to be funny and comical. You gotta have a good sense of humor to be on YouTube. Three. 25, 35, 40. Oh man, Marines and math. Okay. 15, 25, 35. Oh my god. You know, I just realized something? My last workout when I hit 345 for 5 reps, I overloaded. I was actually 355. I can't count. Well, that bodes well. So that was my last warm up, David. Brave man with no spotter. Those right there. It's a spotter arm. So if I bomb the weight, I just set it on there. I prefer to have a spotter. Normally my wife spots me, but she's kind of hurting, so I didn't know if she'd be able to or not. I just went back and watched your first and third video, and you definitely had a very impressive natural physique. I was like a little baby, wasn't I? That was how long ago, man? It wasn't that long ago. I also, if I shave my face, I look a lot younger too. Your comp ready for sure? I don't know, Mikey. We'll see here in a minute. This guy's upper body is so massive it makes his head look small in comparison. Thank you. Appreciate it. I think that's, I don't know. What's up, Zyro? Demon of a cat away from my house. Are you having an episode? Hey, anybody who's new to the channel, did you find my little opening thing to be a hassle? The stupid little community guidelines thing, was that annoying? Is it hard to bypass? Can you just answer the questions, or like is it should I get rid of it? It's all lighting. What do you do for those shoulders? Well, first I slather myself in polyurethane because it's got a nice shine to it, and then I make sure I have really good incandescent lighting over me. Oh, you shut up. And encourage people to be more trolling. I don't know, man. So far, not really. You guys, I mean, my previous videos, like, I think YouTube's just a cesspool for the most part. I was trying to do this thing where I was trying to be funny. No, you're gonna get trolls. Like, there's just no way around it. But I'm trying to challenge them to step their game up a little. Like, if people come on and be like, "You look gay," I'm like, "Wow, you got me." Don't you feel isolated working in the basement? No. First of all, I'm not in my basement. I'm in my garage, and the gym's fun, but it's way easier for me to get the work done I need here because I don't have to wait for equipment. How can I make friends? I'm socially retarded. I'm 27. Dolores, you got to just put yourself out there, man. And you're the person I would recommend to go to the gym. The gym's a weird place, though, because people are very standoffish. The way I look at it is a gym is a place where everybody is self-conscious and everybody thinks that everybody's staring at them. We all think, "Oh my God, everybody is looking at me and I look like an idiot." And the truth is everyone thinks the same thing and nobody gives a shit. You might be walking by and you might look at someone going, "Damn, what is this idiot doing?" And then 2 seconds later, you're off doing your own thing. You don't care about that guy anymore. But I've noticed if you can step out of that, push yourself through that, and actually go talk to someone. And it could be something as simple as somebody hits a set on the bench press, you walk by and go, "Man, that was impressive." So keep it simple. And they'll either say, "Thanks, bro," and then you can introduce yourself, or they'll stare at you like an asshole and you know that they don't want anyone to talk to. Move on. It's a numbers game. Just try to, don't be obvious. Like don't walk by somebody in the squat racks and like go back behind them and hug them. "Do you need a spotter? Your hair smells nice." I like the gym at 5 a.m. The 5 p.m. crowd is weird. 100%. No, I don't think that. I don't care. I like the gym better. It's uplifting. Yeah, I do. The gym's fun for me. It's like a treat. because usually when I go to the gym, I am the strongest guy there. It's just like, I like it, putting like 5 plates on the squat bar and just like doing sets. You can't even put more than 5 plates on the squat bar because they're bumper plates and they literally won't fit. Uh, but when I go to the gym, my problem is I have a tendency to get a little overexcited and I overdo it too much. Uh, Wilabdo, what's up? Uh, yeah, so that's the thing. It's like everybody at the gym's trying to do the same thing, and most of us have the same insecurities. Like it's easy to joke around, but you look at powerlifters. You go to Iron Addicts is where I used to train, and I was the smallest guy in there, so my weights are like I'm the little dude in the corner. And everybody's like, they got these big tough looks on their faces, and then the second you say hi to them, they're like, "Hey, how you doing?" The friendliest people in the world. And I'm like, so if you're that nice, why are you walking around looking like you're trying to eat someone's cat? And if you actually talk to a lot of guys, like especially the strength power guys, most of us have a lot in common. We were either picked on as kids, or maybe had dad issues, or some form of insecurity that maybe we didn't deal with in our adult age. It manifests itself into like turning yourself into a gorilla. And a lot of that's a defense mechanism because you want to look intimidating. You want to be the sea urchin. You don't want people to mess with you. But underneath that, if you can get past that, we're the friendliest people in the world. And I'm at a point in my life where I just don't feel the need to be that. Like, I don't care. I still, like, I'm not trying to be intimidating, or I'm not trying to be the guy that I don't care if people, I think my wife can tell you when we go out, I'm like the most passive person in the place. And people still try to test me. It's the weirdest thing. Go to your Planet Fitness and lift heavy. uh, Planet Fitness is kind of a myth. If you go in there and you're respectful, they'll leave you alone. When I go to the gym in the morning, I'm the only one there. That's when my wife and I were going. It was like 4:30. What time was it? Like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. And they had a good little crowd there. They were really consistent, so you saw the same people every day. Really cool people to get to know, friendly people. Eric Lapointe, what's up? You got Big Bill Montgomery Jr. This is a good man right here. Thanks, Big. Can I call you Big Bill? The gym is the place you go to better yourself, work on yourself, feel better about yourself. Self-love, really. Yes, but it's also a place where you find like-minded individuals, and as long as you're not, if you can, there's an etiquette way, like there's a respectful way of approaching somebody without interfering in their process, and it can be something as simple as like just complimenting somebody after they're done with a set, or asking them how, hey, I saw you doing those exercises. Would you mind explaining that to me? That's a huge one. People love when you take an interest in what they're doing in a non-critical way. They love that shit. You ask them to explain themselves, you got your best friend right there. If you can take somebody who's got self-esteem issues and place them in a position of authority by submitting and asking them for help, they're usually right there. They love it. But what YouTube's the opposite of that. It's a bunch of infantile egomaniacs that know you can't choke them through a computer screen. If I love you, how can I reach to your... My gym is in my basement. I have a punching bag, a preacher, incline. Yeah, that's how I am most of the time. Martin, I got my bags over there. Yeah, over there. I have everything I need in this garage. The problem is, you don't want to isolate too much. You got to put yourself out there a little bit. It's easy to turn into the curmudgeon that never leaves the basement. Especially like you get to a point where you could probably help a lot of people, and it's just good to get out there once in a while. You know what I mean? Like, keep a gym membership for meeting up with friends or those rare moments when somebody wants to work out with you. I invite people to train over at my house all the time, but for some reason they're super intimidated about coming over here. But me, I'm at EOS, and they're fine with it. I don't understand it personally. Let's see. What's your T level? I'm 45 and haven't. Wait, what? Ambrose T. What is your T level at, my guy? I'm 45 and haven't taken anything, but it's hard to get my ACE to work out. I'm not sure. I don't know if I understand you, Ambrose, but the last time I got my blood checked, I was a little bit above 1200. I would imagine that's higher now, though, that I'm getting ready for competition. I have trouble reading social cues, so I struggle developing social relationships after saying the initial introduction. Do you, if you don't mind me asking, do you have a, like, what is it, like Asperger's or some form of like mild autism, or is that, because that's not uncommon. I know a lot of lifters who are autistic, and they have issues with that. Like doing deads at crunch, but I definitely max the bar out with those big rubber 45s. Oh, you're Michigan, man. That's where I'm from, Illinois. Can't motivate myself to go, so I don't go anymore. I feel more pain from work and everything. I know I need to take better care of my body. Let me ask you, Tyler, if you had equipment at home, would you be able to motivate yourself to use it? Because I found when I first got my own home gym equipment, it was the opposite. I didn't want to train, and I would use the excuse, the equipment's there, I'll get started tomorrow. It's fine. I can admit, what's another day, right? It's really easy to fall in that it's just another day argument. And when we're dieting, we're like, I'll start tomorrow. Fill in the blank. One more beer. What's another day? The hardest part is just getting that motivation to go. That's why I always tell people it's more important to go to the gym than it is to work out when you're starting. Just go. Just get your ass over there. So you, Dolores, would you? So you've just been isolated a long time. Yeah, that's tough, man. I mean, you're kind of doing the first step here by talking about it, but the next step is action. You've got to have an action plan, and you also have to work. You have to be okay with the fact that somebody might reject you. So a lot of people, though, when we suffer from social anxiety, we'll put ourselves out there and then somebody will reject us and we immediately go back in our shell. And it's like, no, you can't do that. So, you got to keep trying. It's a numbers game. Like somebody will eventually take an interest in you. And then, you're going to gravitate towards people in the gym that you feel comfortable with to begin with. And it's going to be people that are doing the same types of workouts you're doing. And a lot of times, like I said, if you just take an interest in what they're doing and ask them to show you, most people are really cool about that. How much, big bro? Chider, Ryan Ali. There's only 355 on there. At my own home, I would lift a cannon and the roof. I don't like taking pre-workout shakes. Yeah, I don't take pre-workouts either. I just drink coffee. Okay, yeah, that's good advice. Therapy, definitely. I mean, really, all therapists is going to do is like let you talk and then listen, and then probably let you come to the same conclusion. I see a therapist. You seem to have the jitters. I don't know. The great Apollo said, "There is no tomorrow." There is no tomorrow. I could go so much for 2 jobs. I could only see myself working out again if I had a home gym. Yeah, it's tough, but you know what's cool about it is you only need about 15 minutes a day, 3 days a week. Not even joking. Can you bench it now, please? I'll bench it when I'm good and goddamn ready there, David. I take creatine alkaline once I took it. Now I have to work out. It gives me motivation to work out. It's almost like when you take something, you feel like you have to do it, otherwise you're wasting it. Oh man. All right. I'm gonna use the little boys' room, and then I'm gonna hit this shit. Man, it's getting cold in here. All right. Well, let's see if all that hard work paid off or not. You can talk to me. I had to do that first one with a pause to make sure. We'll do another set. I'm going to do the next set just touch and go, though, for reps. Because the pause takes so much energy from it, that's hard to get. Phew. That'll probably be my opener. Maybe I'll go. You know what? Set a timer, and then I'm going to hit this. I'm going to do a single for a pause. Sean, what's up? Creatine is the most researched and tested supplement. Yes, 100% agree with that. Can you please send me your number? You can hit me up on Instagram. We could talk. I want to see a John Cena crash 2 beers and chug them. I haven't had a beer since 2013. It'd be a bad idea for me to start drinking now. But I feel you. What's your incline at max wise? I can. It's crazy. I can hit substantially less on incline. Oh yeah, my incline sucks too. So well, I don't really do incline. If I do incline, I do like a 4-inch, like a real mild one, and then I'll use the camber bar, which extends the range of motion. which I feels better for translation to flat bench. But now my overhead press is only like 225. It's not that much. Joel Salazar, what's up? Do you want to take creatine while losing weight? Yeah, you can, Sarah, because it's only water weight. Um, see, here's the problem with the losing weight. Is you could probably go on a fast, right? And not like, say, for example, you went on a 24-hour fast, didn't drink water, nothing. Next day you're going to wake up and you're going to be 15 pounds lighter. Well, that's all water weight. You lost weight. You're going to drink it and it's going to come right back. So when dieting, we really want to talk about, like, what are we losing? We want to lose fat cells. So you want to recomposition your body. And creatine, and that's why the scale's tricky, because you're adding weight to lose weight. Like, you're gaining weight, but are you losing fat? Are we burning fat? That's really what we're. As long as your body is recomposing itself. That's why I always tell people, don't worry so much about the scale. Worry about the mirror. The other thing is that our body weight fluctuates around 5 pounds every day. So I've had a lot of people, they start dieting, they'll tell me, dude, I lost 5 pounds. Really? In one day? Yeah. I'm like, okay. The next day they're like, dude, I gained 5 pounds. I'm like, oh, really? It's water weight. So the scale kind of will mess you up. But what you can do is you can trend yourself. So if you weigh yourself once in the morning, once at bed, and just after about a week or two, you'll see a trend. It might go like this, but it should be working its way down, if that makes sense. I want to start committing to, Ficuzzi. I want to start committing to powerlifting. What pre-made programs and advices can you give me? Dude, you're perfect candidate for the starting strength 5x5. Simple, easy, linear production. Go until you plateau, and then we can talk about like a more advanced program. How much juice you take daily? Foo. I don't take it daily, but I love you very much. Your muscle, your character. Well, I'm a married man, but I appreciate it. Martin Laporte, yeah. Let's see. It depends on what kind of creatine you take. I buy monohydrate from bulk supplements, and you put it in your coffee if you want to. Actually, that might not be a horrible idea. I don't know how it. I don't know the water solubility of it though. Do you have the testosterone of a 20-year-old? No, it's probably higher right now. You could take a dump and lose 5 pounds instantly, or hear me out. Amputation, 35 pounds gone right there. I hear David D has a mangina. Damn. Do you do 10 grams? No, probably about 5. Your laugh makes me happy. Thanks, I appreciate that. David H, you're a power lifter. Cool. I just realized your name's I'd Cheat on You. I've been trying to get veins popping out my arms for the longest. So vascularity, of course, there's different types. There's genetic, which this vein is supposed to be here. But you've seen like Wes Watson or Cali Muscle or some of those guys where they got like these squiggly ass veins going everywhere, and they're like, oh, that looks kind of cool. No, that's varicose veins. That's literally your heart screaming at you because it's pumping sludge. You're taking, and Cali had a heart attack, of course. So vascularity is cool if the veins are supposed to be there. And then what that is of course, body fat percentage. You get down to 15% or lower, you'll start seeing vascularity. Now, the other thing that can improve that, you could take what's called vasodilators. Vitamin B3, which is niacin, will give you a little bit of a pump. You could take L-citrulline. There's actually, let's see what we got, y'all. That's exactly what this is. L-citrulline, L-norvaline, L-glycine. These are all vasodilators, natural. Vitamin B6. I need glasses, so. But vitamin B3 or niacin is a really good one. Let's see here. Your physique reminds me of fictional character Kratos. Oh man, I was gonna go as him as a Halloween, but I didn't want to shave my head. I would have though. So this year I went as Tenjin Izui from a Demon Slayer. Let's see. Spring day. Does hitting legs really boost testosterone? So here's the thing. Let's talk about that. This is for all my natural friends out there. A lot of things that boost testosterone, right, really work well for people that have low testosterone due to environmental issues. Bad diet, bad sleep, high stress, working long hours, having to deal with a lot of bullshit, worrying about bills, everything like poor diet, poor sleep, all that stuff can affect your hormone profile, and it can cause men to have low testosterone, which is correctable if you start sleeping properly, if you start eating properly, if you find ways to mitigate stress. Now, to boost your overall natural testosterone production, doing compound movements that use the most amount of muscles, or as many muscle groups as you can, is going to get that system going better. You're forcing adaptation. You're maximizing it by using as much of your body as possible. Squats, deadlifts are great because of the huge stress load that it puts on your body, which will increase things like your human growth hormone, your testosterone. But this is the part that they leave out. This is the part where it gets tricky. That only works to get you to your normal maximum potential, where you're supposed to be as a human, as you exist right now, your genetic potential. So we're boosting you to where you're supposed to already be. Now, the advertising's tricky because it makes it sound like you're going to go above and beyond that. That's just not going to happen. Your body regulates itself. So anything you add to increase testosterone naturally, your body will regulate. You know what I mean? It's a system that's monitoring everything. A lot of these test boosters that you buy, the way they work is they actually block your receptors so your body can't use testosterone, which makes it more freely available in the blood. So you're actually hurting yourself. You get a blood test done, you have high. So there's two test numbers that you want to look at. One of them is your free testosterone in the blood, and that's the number that we commonly throw out when we say 900, 300, 1200. That's your free testosterone in the blood. The other number is how much of your testosterone your body is actually using. And that could be, that's in a range of like 0 to 100. So you can have high test in your blood and still have low test issues. Now, and that's why I think most of the natural test boosters are snake oil and garbage, and then you're just wasting your money. It's been my observation that the only way to get super physiological numbers of testosterone is to add testosterone to your body, aka steroid use. But that doesn't mean you can't maximize your own genetic potential and still live your best life, because when you improve all that other stuff we just talked about, those environmental factors, once you correct those, you're going to unlock your true genetic potential. And that's really, I don't think a lot of men have been able to experience that, and I don't even know if I even have. When I was training as a natural, I was killing it, but I don't feel like I ever got good sleep or diet or any of that stuff. I never really maximized my potential before I went on testosterone at the age of 46, and the excuse I use is like, I'm the better part of 50. Like, what the fuck, you know? And I'm glad I did too, 100%. But there's something to be said for correcting a lot of those environmental issues and just seeing how good you can get, you know, before you decide to add something else to your system. And yes, in that context, squats will definitely help, for sure. Someone's asking me to take my clothes off. That's going to cost you. You ever gotten a prostate exam? Oh, yeah. Oh, by a doctor? Let's see. Wait, you're telling me that Greg Doucette doesn't care about physique or wallet by selling me fake testosterone? You know, I will say this. I was a big Greg Doucette fan until he went on this testosterone bullshit. And the reason why I say that is because, like, there's no fucking science behind it. There's been a couple of studies that suggest that it might have anabolic properties. But you know how I know it doesn't work? They haven't banned it yet. It's snake oil. It might work, maybe, but it's all anecdotal. There's not enough science on it. And it's super expensive. If you're going to spend that much money to put a compound in that has no research, probably doesn't have any side effects because it's just a plant-based. It is a what's the name of that compound group? Organic chemistry. Come back to me. It's not a steroid. It's a but the molecule imitates or is very close to testosterone. After it's gotten past your digestive system and your body absorbs it, my brain just drew a blank. I'm trying to think scientifically here. Okay, I'll say it in Marine speak. When you eat it, it turns into something. Your bioavailability. There's no research on it, and it's super expensive. Like, why would if you're gonna spend that much money, just go fucking buy steroids, you know? Like, at that point, at least you know what it's gonna do to you. What are you on right now? Right now I'm on like a testosterone mix, similar to Sustanon, and a dihydroboldenone, DHB. How do you deal with shoulder impingement and lifting weights? You got to find where your impingement is, and you can work around that usually by rotating. But if it's a deformity and it's digging into your labrum, you're gonna have to get surgery. But a lot of times, natural impingements can be mitigated by finding where your free point is. Like, for example, like with squatting, it's easy because everybody has a natural hip impingement. Usually, like when your knees are straight forward and then you open them up a little bit, and then it frees that impingement, and you go ass to grass. You could dump into the squat. And so, like, a lot of people, if they can't hit ass to grass, the first thing we'll do is have them like open up a little bit, and it could be like a little half inch in each direction. It's the same thing with bench pressing. If you have a shoulder impingement due to like an injury or whatever, it's just maybe finding that rotation, and it could be something like turning your grips, that like using the football bar, or maybe flaring the elbows a little bit. You know, so I don't know what the cause of your impingement is. Or where it's located, so I don't know like what plane of pressing clears it. Obviously, the more you flare your shoulders, the weaker you're going to be. So it's going to be compromising your max press if you have to, you know, go out really wide. But lots of snake oil out there. You're just better off taking EAA and B12 tablets. Can't argue with that. Do you think if you don't play a sport during puberty, you missed your genetic peak? You have about until the age of 23 before your body stops growing. 22 maybe, we'll say. And you have about to the age of 40, like mid-30s, early 40s, before you cannot increase bone density anymore. So one of the big things that playing sports as a kid gives you is a massive increase in bone density. especially if it's rough sports, which you can, that's wrestling, martial arts, basketball, football, whatever. They looked at the bone density of kids that played tennis, and it was like 50% higher in their hitting arm. So you definitely want to increase bone density, and that's going to help you as you age, because once you turn 40, you can't increase bone density anymore. So my challenge as a 50-year-old lifter is I can get super strong, but I can't get thicker bones. I'm done. There's nothing I can take that's going to increase my bone density. Luckily, I was one of those kids that beat the shit out of themselves growing up, so I don't have that issue. Let's see here. Nandrolone. Nandrolone. Let me look that up. I haven't messed with Nandrolone, I don't think. Believe it or not, I don't have a lot of steroid experience. I was natural till I almost turned 46, so I've only been taking stuff for about 4 years. Nandrolone. Okay, so Nandrolone was an additive to the first. When I first started taking DHB, it was a blend of 5 testosterones, Nandrolone, and DHB. I stopped taking that because of the increase of red blood cells. I wound up having to get blood because my blood would get thicker. So I don't really know. I couldn't say. Top Gog. I'll never, ever recommend a steroid cycle, ever. Now, I'm not against them, but I'm a moron that lives in his garage. And I'm the last person you want to get steroid advice from. I work with a doctor. I work with some professionals. And, they keep a good eye on me. But there's so many compounds out there. I do a lot of research, so I have read up on a lot of this stuff. But I don't have any real-world working experience with it. And I have no idea of, this is what I can tell you. Dianabol is kind of the OG steroid that everyone used to take back in the day. You don't want to take any steroid without a base of testosterone. So everybody that's going to be taking steroids should be on testosterone, period. But, on top of that, what's a cycle for how long? How much you're going to take? I don't know. I have no idea what the dosing is. This is what I say is, some people are hyper responders, and a little bit goes a long way. Some guys take a ton of shit and they don't see any results. So a lot of it's going to be anecdotal. The best thing I can tell you is go to a doctor, go to my HRT clinic, Helix HRT, sign up with them, and they'll work your profile out. They don't care how old you are. You tell them what you're trying to accomplish, and they will give you a protocol, whether it involves anabolics or not. They'll at least tell you what you need to do to get to where you want to be. I'm going to tell everybody that's under the age of 40, don't take anything. Just work out. Work out and get stronger. It's going to take time. It takes time even if you're on steroids. Here's the thing, though. If you go on steroids without training, when you stop training, you're going right back to that. You'll have done all that for nothing. Whereas if you get a physique naturally, you get kind of strong naturally, when you stop using, you'll go back to that. You'll keep what you earned naturally. For the most part. You know what I mean? I think it's gay to use chalk and get white stuff everywhere. It sucks that you go to a gym where that's not encouraged. Chalk helps immensely. It's great stuff. Are you what do you use, straps or gloves? Collagen can increase bone density. I don't think over the age of 40 you can. Pretty much the body stops. We're reading studies on it because of osteoporosis and my wife going through perimenopause, and we're digging into the research, and I couldn't find anything that supported bone growth after and it's a little bit different for 40 is average. For some people it could be 42, it could be 39, but usually 40s the body will stop. You will not be able to increase bone density after a certain age, and I can't find anything that will improve that. So if you didn't get it when you were younger, you're not going to get it when you're older. It's like you can increase your strength, you can increase your muscularity, you can increase your tendons, ligaments, but bone density is kind of static after a certain age. And believe me, if there's something that will work, because I take collagen peptides, I'd be all over that shit. Now, there's a lot of things that will prevent bone density loss. That is definitely something you want to take. So you're older, you want to definitely not lose bone density for sure, and that's going to be training and all that. But you're pretty much static once you get to a certain age. Truliano, thank you, brother. I appreciate that. I've had some friends that got on Dianabol and heard nightmare stories about their heart issues and kidney pain. Just understand this, okay? Steroids will kill you, and any damage you do, anything you change. This is like to women, their voices get deeper, or men when they start growing titties. Those are irreversible. Now, you can go get surgery and get your glands removed, sure. I don't think women can do anything about their voices getting deeper, or if their chin starts to fill out and they start looking a little more manly, you're done. You can't go back. Like, once you turn a cucumber into a pickle, you cannot turn a pickle into a cucumber, if that makes sense. So, just knowing that going into it, it's just something to think about. Like, what am I trying to accomplish, and am I willing to risk that to get that? And then, of course, there's a lot of steps you can take to mitigate the hazards and make it, the risk levels acceptable. But it's also going to kind of put a cap on the amount of stuff you can take to achieve what you want to achieve. What can you do to prevent bone density loss? The number one thing you can do is train, resistance training regularly. Other things are like, taking peptides, collagen peptides, having a diet that's got an adequate enough amount of protein, making sure you have vitamin D3, magnesium, zinc, calcium. Definitely want to take calcium. I take glucosamine, but mostly resistance training. Just the act of exercising with weights will prevent bone density loss. All right. I'm going to do this one for a single. Hey, bulldog. How was the pause on that one? Was it a good pause? No, my shorts are good. I got underwear on underneath them. Okay, cool. Solid pause. Oh, awesome. I can accept bone density loss, but not boner density loss. No bone. Well, either one's bad. All right, so.
We're out of butter.
Are we still going to the store? I'm on my last set.
No.
All right, we'll do one more set here, and then women will never understand male humor. I need to increase my overhead press. What should I do? Would I dress like this in a public gym? Yeah, absolutely. You've apparently never been to a powerlifting gym. These are USPA shorts. Yeah. I actually dress worse than this when I go out to a gym. Let me think here. What can I do to increase my overhead press? I mean, I would just... I'm not really a huge overhead presser, but generally speaking, when people get stuck at a certain weight, the answer is dropping the weight and increasing the rep range for a short period of time, doing more volume, maybe even adding a second or third day to your schedule, and do that for a short period of time, like 3 or 4 weeks. Take a deload and then see if your max went up. I mean, that's generally how we approach any plateau we're hitting. Yeah, I was Mikey. I was going to say more overhead press, but that sounds so cliche. It's like, yeah. How do I increase my squats? Squat more, dumbass. Like, yeah, that is actually the answer, though. Let's see here. Arnold press. Yeah. Man's legs can crush your whole family's bloodline. So when people make fun of my legs, like, I don't really care, because none of them can squat. They probably couldn't even like get my warm-up weight. You know what I mean? Like, if you can't squat 3 times your body weight, I don't really give a shit about your opinion about my legs. Arnold's, why did if somebody delete Dr. Idiot's comment? Arnold press, what's the issue with that? Just keep working out like 3 sets of 6. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much, yeah. Like, anytime I hit a plateau, like with bench press, like, normally I'm not a volume guy. I do 1 set to failure. So I do 3 warm-up sets, 3 working sets, 1 set to failure, and I'm done. But you will eventually hit a plateau with that. And when that happens, then you switch from high intensity 1 set to failure to your traditional, like, 5 sets of 5 sets of 10. Increase the volume for short periods of time. Then the big thing is taking that deload week, like, to let your body heal, and then seeing if you can hit your numbers and rinse and repeat. What's up, sweetheart?
So instead of butter, I could use the other butter.
Which is... No, good Lord, no. What are you making?
I'm making a pork roast.
You talking about the lace stuff?
The what?
The stuff with...
Cannabis? Yes.
What are you putting butter on?
That's how I cook my porks.
Oh.
Or my roast. That's my secret.
Shh. Okay. No, I don't want weed. Why are your moderators so harsh? I don't know, man. It's like they get butt hurt before I do. Do you get lower back pains at your age? Everything hurts. I feel like I'm in detention, doctor. I didn't see the issue with Arnold press. Some of the other comments were stupid. But no, I don't know. I didn't see anything that I would have blocked her. But you know what? I trust my mod, so. What's up, Wet Shark? It's like, yeah, they're trying to protect me. You know, my wife did. We had a talk the other night, and she said, well, she asked me. She said straight up, do you want your channel just to be a cesspool of trolls? You know, all you do is talk and make shitty comments, or do you want it to be serious about training? And I was like, well, I don't know. You can't. It's like trying to control traffic. But I took her point though, you know, and I don't want it to just be a bunch of people coming out here and saying the dumbest shit. Like, I actually am a man on a mission, but at the same time, I also want it to be lighthearted and fun. You know what I mean? We never take ourselves too seriously, if that makes sense. You know, you go on a lot of fitness channels and it's like, Jesus, these guys are just like, I forgot who I was watching, but he just, anytime somebody would say something trollish to him, he would just get insanely angry, and he was defending himself every comment, and I was like, that is exhausting. Like, who cares? Like if somebody says something about my legs, it's like, first of all, I'm not even a bodybuilder. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, your legs look small. Okay. Wow. I'm never gonna train calves ever. I mean, outside of normal training, you know. When I say I don't train calves, people are like, you don't work your calves out? Well, of course I do, but I don't train them adequately enough to cause them to grow, which would be an insane amount of work, because calves are like one of those muscles that you use daily, and any commonly used muscles like your forearms or calves or whatever, that's largely genetic, and to get them to grow, if you have small calves, you got to do these insane calf workouts that are like as long, you know what I mean? I'm just not doing it. I don't care. Who gives a fuck? It's not going to help me to squat more. But if I was going to be a bodybuilder and they're going to pay me a bunch of money and someone said, if you don't get your calves bigger, you're not going to win this trophy. Well, okay, maybe then that's different. Yeah, Steven Sullivan. Yeah, I don't know. I think my legs are fine, to be honest with you, but to each their own. Like, I don't know what the problem is. It's, you know, I have genetically tiny calves. They're like the size of my forearms, and I just don't care. All right, settle down, guys. Nobody's getting banned. But here's what I'm going to tell you, Dr. Idiot. Christina's my wife, so don't piss her off. Dude, seriously, you're a funny guy. You need to get rid of them. These Karen mods. Yes, it's the truth. Careful, brother. I'm just saying. Careful. We're cool. Let's keep it cool. How many days you rest a week? Oh. I'm forcing myself to take this week off. I don't rest. I need to. Sometimes I think that there's something wrong with me. But yeah, let's just, yeah. Okay, we got a little drama in the comments, and I'm trying to calm everybody down. Everyone's cool. You know, I work construction too, so you know, HVAC, that's cool, dude. I don't think you were calling my wife a Karen, but she very much dislikes that. So, okay, so you just want to get banned. At this point, I don't know what to tell you, dude. I'm sorry. I tried to be cool. I tried to intervene. I tried to settle you down, but after that comment, I don't really give a shit what happens. I'm moving on. I have one more set to complete, and then I'm gonna go hang out with my wife. All right. I don't want anyone to get banned. I don't want anyone's comments to be blocked. I don't care if you make fun of me, but I will say this. My moderators help me out, and they are looking out for my channel and my best interests. And if they politely ask someone to stop spamming or trolling or whatever comments they have problems with, if they ask you to knock it off and you argue with them, what am I supposed to do with that? Thank you, Mark, I appreciate that. Apparently I have chicken legs, though. All right, what time is it? Got 2 more minutes. It is kind of a funny comment, but totally inappropriate. Can't believe you would say that. It's weird. I measured chest at 54, but my friend's chest 48. Why does his chest look bigger? I measured chest at 54, but my friend's chest is 48. Why does his chest look bigger? How are you measuring it? Maybe it's his, maybe he's got a bigger chest, but he has no lats, you know, because that's your circumference, right? You're measuring around that. You know what I mean? Like, because like, if you look at my back, if I was to measure my chest measurements, how do you measure your chest? Like, how does that work? Because I know that when they measure me for a suit, a lot of it's my shoulders. I think I'm a 40, I don't even remember. I don't even know what I would be now. I'm trying to think of what my dress blues were. I'm going to say like 44. Is something burning? Hold on, give me a second, guys. Something smells good. Oh, okay. I would have ran to the store for you, baby. It'll look better than Larry Wheels. How do you measure dong's gooch to the tip of the base? What would you say in general that women's have better genetics for calves? I don't know, dude. Genetics are weird. So if you ever look at like sprinters in the Olympics, or NFL running backs, they have these giant quads and huge glutes, and then these little tiny calves. And then I've noticed that a lot of heavier people, especially when they lose weight, they have like really big calves. But then there's really no correlation there either. Oh yeah, so you do measure under the armpits. So yeah, it's probably an issue with like your back muscles. She's searing a roast. So I thought for a second there was burning, and then when I opened the door, I got a whiff of the actual ingredients. Low bar squats made me rip 6 different shorts. Hell yeah, I'm a big squat advocate. I think it's like the #1 lift everybody should be doing. Is sprinting the best martial art? I'm taking a plane over there and to join in for dinner. Hell yeah. You make it here. I got you. I wish you guys could smell it. Can I squat if I have a hip disability? Well, so I do have a hip disability. Like, I don't know if you guys notice when I squat, the bar's uneven, and I have that back injury that I recovered from. It's not about whether you can or can't squat currently with your current disability. It's whether or not we can get you there, and what exercises do we need to do in order to do that. A lot of guys that come to me, and they're beat up, they can only do quarter squats. They can barely sit in a chair and get out of it. Some of them can't bend over and touch their toes. Some of them, there's tons of physical limitations that will prevent you from doing barbell lifts properly. So, what do we need to do? We have to assess you. We have to find out where your mechanical issues are, and then from there, get you to be able to get in the proper position. And that could be a lot of body weight exercises. It could be a lot of like good morning stretches, Jefferson curls, things of that nature. Well, then once we get you into that position, and usually what I'll do is I'll get guys under the barbell anyways, even if they can only squat to a box, you know, that's a quarter squat. We'll do that. And then over time we go deeper and deeper, and then my buddy Joe, he could only do a quarter squat when he started. He's 6'4", 300 pounds. Now, the last time he trained with me, he was going ass to grass. And how long did it take to get to there? About 6 months. 6 months to get him from being able to barely do quarter squats to doing full ass to grass squats at his body weight. But the big thing is you got to dedicate yourself to the process. There's no easy way to say if you got a disability, you can just do something. Like, I don't know. You activated my Siri. What's my max squat? Well, yesterday or the day before, I hit 600 for a set of 5. I was pretty happy with that. So that puts me right around that 660 mark. You have a labrum hip tear. My wife just got hers done. That is literally what she's recovering from. She had a hip impingement. They shaved that down. They shaved her labrum. Got the socket working, and she's actively recovering from that right now. Now, here's the thing. If it's a tear, you're looking at, well, you have to heal the tear first. So that's physical therapy. It looked like I swallowed the Incredible Hulk. It's common to have muscle imbalances when you're a gym beginner. Yes, and that's why I love barbells so much, because the barbell will fix those imbalances. You can only push as much as your weakest link. If one arm's weaker than the other, you can only push that, and they will catch up. You'll catch up. Your imbalances will balance out. Provided physical limitations can be different. If it's a mechanical issue, that's something we might have to work on. You can do body squats barely. Yes, but you can do them. That's what's awesome. The fact that you can do body squats means that you're miles ahead of everybody in your position. All right, here we go, folks. Let's get after this. Oh man, put the belt on and I gotta pee. All right. Now the last one I paused, I'm not worried about the pause in this set. I just want to get some reps in. I think my ass came up a little. I don't know. I'm gonna have to watch that. Knees over toes, guys. Kicks ass. That's 335. So I went up to 365 with a solid pause. Whew. I'm 50. So I think my opener will be 365, and then my second attempt will be like, depending on how that goes, 380. And my third attempt, I'll go for 400. Boom. The body beatdown. Thank you, sir. I could have done one more rep, but my spotter's cooking the roast. I was like, man, do I go for one more? I guess I could drop them down. Here, this will do. We'll do drop sets until the bar's empty. And I'll set a timer for 5 minutes. I need to use the bathroom. I put the belt on and squeezed my bladder, and I was like, ooh. Oh, it must be hard to focus with that aroma. What kind of program should I do for a martial artist? Well, I train Muay Thai. I don't see why a standard strength program like what a powerlifter does wouldn't be compatible, because if you're doing barbell movements, full range of motion, you're getting a lot of flexibility. No, you obviously don't want to focus too much on, how do I say this? Like, I'm getting ready to compete, and my martial arts training is suffering because of that, because I'm putting on weight, because I'm always going heavy. It hurts my flexibility. But as long as you prioritize flexibility and athleticism over strength training, you still want to get as strong as you possibly can in those confines. One thing I don't think that MMA fighters, boxers, people that practice martial arts, there's this misconception that barbells will slow you down. Barbells will not slow you down. Not training flexibility and mobility will slow you down. So if you sacrifice one over the other, that's what's going to slow you down. If anything, getting strong ass legs and glutes are going to make your kicks a million times harder, providing that your main focus is that training. There's three, no, so no game share 76. I worked up to 365 pounds, and now I'm stripped down to 315, and I'm working down to 0. I'm doing a reverse pyramid. Gay buff guy. I don't know if that's normal, but my bench press is more than my squat. It shouldn't be, but it's not. It's actually not unusual for a lot of people that start training because they don't prioritize the squat. Now, if you prioritize the squat, your squat should be, if you want to legitimately consider yourself a strong person, you should be able to squat 2 times your body weight. You should be able to deadlift 2 times your body weight, and you should be able to bench about 1.5 times your body weight. That's a really general, like, strength scale. Like, obviously there's more to it than that. How big are you? Do you weigh 110 pounds, or are you 300 pounds? But that's just, like, generally speaking, you should be able to squat twice your body weight. That should be something that a strong man can do. That's a good goal to have. When I first started training, my squat sucked. I didn't squat. I did a lot of bench. I could bench 1.5 times my body weight way before I could squat 135 pounds. It wasn't until I started training properly. Now I'm dead. Let's see, 2, 4, 6. I'm looking at 3.5 times my body weight for deadlift, 3 times my body weight for squat. I don't really call it ex-military, but yes, I'm no longer active duty. I'm not, once a Marine, always a Marine. You don't ever stop being a Marine. It's just something, you earn that title, it's for life. But yeah, I'm not active duty. If they call me up, shit's getting bad. His hair honestly kind of reminds me of those private military contractors in the movies. That's kind of what I was going for. Rodzillas. All right, here we go. This is it. This is the last set. I'm just going to pyramid down. All right. Hey. Thank you, Body Beatdown. And that's how you finish your workout and put everything away at the same time. Normally I bench press once a week. I'll go through periods where I'll do more. Like I'll do, when I first started this program, it was 3 bench days a week for 2 weeks. You could do that. You can have like short periods where you do super high volume, but you can't do it for, I would say, more than 4 weeks. And you start really hurting yourself. Betty Jackson. So I'm stronger now than I've ever been in my life. The issue is everything hurts and I'm old and recovery sucks. Physically, definitely stronger. Not as fast. Even, you know, just there's something about youth. Your ability to just like fall on the ground and hop back up again. The older you get, it's more like dropping like a sack of like ribeye steaks on the ground. You know, it's like I don't know how to describe it. It's like there's a springiness to youth that you start to lose as you get older, and I'm doing my best to try to keep that. And I would say for a 50-year-old, I'm as athletic as you could possibly be. Like I still participate in martial arts. I could still rock climb. I can still jump up and crank out pull-ups. I can still play shoot hoops. I still rollerblade. I still bike. But there's like it's like the steel is harder, but it's more brittle. Does that make sense? It's like a springiness of being younger. You could just like take a hit or fall and just kind of roll with it and hop back up and be like, ta-da. Now it's like, oh, I can't get out of bed. My back hurts. I haven't taken my morning medicine yet. It's like, oh, everything. We will go play hoops, baby. In 13 years, I can't believe I've never shot hoops with you. We both used to play basketball at a high level. And her and I have never gone to the park together to shoot hoops. Yeah, wrestling and BJJ is probably better for you as you're older, but I want to kickbox. That's what I want to do. It's more fun. And it is kind of a novelty to being like the oldest guy in the class, except for the instructor. And I can run circles around a lot of these. Now, right now, my cardio is at its worst because I'm training for powerlifting and I'm peaking. And I'm not doing all the stuff that I normally do. So I'm going to have to do a little extra work when I get done competing to try to get get my lungs back. But yeah, I can't wait to see Alex Pereira. He's my favorite. He's my favorite to watch. Every individual that enters the age of 30 says a lot of scary things about their joints hurting. Here's the thing. You get used to the pain, and I don't want to scare you guys. All of it you can mitigate. For me, the pain's worst in the mornings when I'm getting out of bed. It's just like everything's tight and hurts. But once you start moving around, like there's a dull, like kind of annoying, but not really a big deal kind of pain that just like, it's common if like, I've never had a day where nothing hurt at all. Like something like either my knee was a little sore or man, my elbow's kind of hurting today or something. But is it enough to slow you down or stop you? No. You just, ankle hurts, put on boots, tie the laces a little tighter, get on with your day. It's like, it's pain, but it's manageable. It's not that big a deal. And it's certainly not enough to not try to be athletic because, as the body beatdown can attest, guys our age, if you let yourself go, it's exponentially worse. And then you get to the point where you can't even try to start doing something physical. So it's like you gotta stay after it. Do you have to be this? No. But definitely, you should have a solid training regimen that exploits your full range of motion and has some sort of a progressive overload so that you get a little bit stronger. You know what I mean? You don't have to be crazy about it. Dumbbell floor presses are great. Any floor presses are great. The only thing I don't like about it is you want to get that extended range of motion. So if you're going to do floor presses, which help you to lift with heavier weight, make sure you're also doing something that exploits the compromised position of being fully stretched. Chama for sure, hell yeah. Hope Pereira baptizes. Yeah. Hell yeah. All right, guys. I am gonna go eat dinner. Thank you, Zaro, for helping me out. I keep forgetting, like, hey, hit the like button and make sure you subscribe. It helps the algorithm. So do you guys think I should get rid of my, under community moderation, I set up a community guidelines thing that you have to sign to enter the chat. and it was mostly as a joke. I was trying to be funny with it. Is that a barrier to people watching the channel? Do you think I should get rid of that or keep it? The Stumble on his live stream, we got to entertain best 35 minutes of my day. Thank you. No, not at all. No, it's fine. Keep it. Hell yeah, I'm still going. All right. We'll keep it. It was an experiment because I was getting a lot of trolls and my wife and I were talking and she's like, do you want your channel to be a cesspool? And I'm like, yeah, but I don't want to be like a stick in my butt either, you know. That would help me weed out some goofies, but the goofies make it more entertaining. Yeah, yes, balance. It's got to be a balance, though. You know, like Thanos said. Do you want a hot Carl? Well, who doesn't? Harry Dick Potter, too. What are you, what do they call that? Harry Donger in the Prisoner of Azkaban? I just asked my husband if he messed with you. He looked like he's seen you. He said, hell no. He would like to live. Betty Jackson. I'm harmless. Tell your husband, him and I probably be homies. Yeah. I'm at that age where it's like, I would much prefer to use my words instead of having to subject myself to a physical altercation, especially with, you don't know, you mean like, some like a good example of some of the boxers at the gym I train at, Muay Thai, like, okay, look at me. You look at me and you're like, holy shit, I bet that guy's fucking badass. I'm the least experienced dude in the class. And then you look at some of the best guys, they look like they don't even fucking lift weights. Like they never trained a day in their life, and this guy kick your fucking head off. So it's like, do I really want to? But you can also kind of tell, like, people that like throw their weight around, they puff their chest out, and it's like, get the fuck out of here. Yeah. Harry Pothead. A bunch of nerds have taken over martial arts. You know what? I was a nerd, and unlike the modern nerds, I got my ass beat. You know, if you've never gotten pantsed and locked in a locker for enjoying Dungeons and Dragons, you don't know what it's like to be a truly oppressed nerd. So it's good to see, like, but at the same time, it's like we earned our culture. We physically took beatings for liking Warhammer. You know, now it's like, it's cool to be a dork. You're like, I don't like it. You'll never know the true pain. You know? To be a closet LARPer. No, it's good. It's cool, man. I love me some Warhammer. Jonathan, what's up? Thank you, brother. You caught the end of the stream. I'm about to get off here. I just finished my last bench day before competition, and it went okay. I got my opener. I'm going to open up at 365 pounds, so that's not bad. So openers are like the minimum acceptable number. So if I got a 365 bench, a 610 pound squat, and say a 620 pound deadlift, that's a 15, 65, 75, 85. That's a 1,600 pound opener. So my opening 3 lifts would be a 1,600 pound total. And then I have 2 more attempts to get all 3 of those numbers higher. So if I'm opening up with a 1,600 pound total, that puts me 50 pounds away from the national record. So that's a really good chance to be able to take that. Oh, hell yeah, Steven. I appreciate it. Semper Fi, brother. 65 hours a week. Will the comp be recorded? Yes. I don't know where they're streaming, but here's what I'm thinking about doing. And I was talking to my wife about this. I'm thinking about setting up a camera stand and doing 3 separate live streams. I will just stream me squatting, benching, and deadlifting, or my flight. So that way I'm not live streaming for 6 to 8 hours, which nobody's going to fucking watch. But if I just set the stream up for when my flight starts squatting and benching and deadlifting, I think that's doable. So I'll have 3 separate live streams. I think that's what I'm going to go with. In UFC, the lighter people have been hurt more than the heavy guys. Yeah, yeah. You know, honestly, you're 100% right. When the big guys go at it, it's like, I would say there's less technique. They go down harder, they hit harder, they take overall less volume damage. Um, the little guys just go. They just go. They just, like, you ever seen like Mexican boxers? You know, they just beat each other to death, and they're not stopping until somebody physically can't move anymore. And you're thinking like, holy shit, that guy in that fight just took about like the same amount of hits to the head that the heavyweights took the entire year. You know? But then at the same time, that one hit that you got from Mike Tyson probably did as much brain damage as that entire fight did. I don't know. It's like, it's hard to say. Thank you, Betty. Tell him I said Semper Fi. Hell yeah. I'm fat as hell right now. I bet I could TKO you. Yeah, probably. But I'll figure it out. I got a week to figure it out. I don't think those competitors will mess with a beastly Marine. Yeah, they're terrified of me at first, but you know, then they realize they're like, wow, this fucking loser, he can't fight for shit. No, it's like in a real fight, like if I'm going like an actual fight and not a spar, I have a level of aggressiveness, and I hit really fucking hard. So when we're sparring, it's hard to gauge that because, you know, we're practicing. He hits you, you hit him. You know, usually you take turns, and you can go as hard as your partner will. You talk to him. You're talking to your partner, and they'll trade. Usually when we're sparring, they do 2 rounds, and then we have to switch. So that way you don't get the same training partner every time. You have to hit everybody. But we're going 50% at hardest. You get in the ring, you put the headgear on, you know, it's ding ding, time to go at it. Like that's when you really unleash. And most of those guys are like not prepared for how hard I can hit. But at the same time, their technique's a million times better, and they're way faster. So I have to play to my strengths, which is usually the old George Foreman, turn yourself into a punching bag and try to get them into a corner and then let loose on them. Different sport though. We'll see. Because after I get done powerlifting, I'm gonna throw myself into Muay Thai training for a good solid 3 or 4 months. Just really just do that and see how good I can get. You updated my FPF. Nice. Wrestling, the small people are very fast. Yes, sir. All right, guys. I love you all. I'll see you. I'll be deadlifting Sunday. I might get on like to hit the heavy bag, or, you know, do like some physical therapy lifting. So we'll see. But love you guys. See you on the battlefield.